Hello, all you delightful critters, and welcome to my little corner of the internet. This is the Laughing Fox Tarot, and I have for you all today a quickie pick a card reading. I'm trying to do something a little bit different. Okay, so real talk first. I have been a little bit overwhelmed. I have had a lot of stuff going on in my life all at once, and it's been a lot to manage. So I haven't been able to get at doing tarot readings for the last couple of weeks, and I really, really miss it. But I also still feel really drained and like I don't have much space for it. So the first message, I think really a collective message, because I've been seeing this with other people around me too, is even a little bit is enough. Even just the tiniest bit of whatever you're working on is enough. It doesn't have to be anything grand. It doesn't have to be to the same standards that you've done before. Just a little bit. So that's what I'm doing for myself right now, and I think this is that was a message for everyone, which is just whatever tiny little step of whatever you're doing to just keep your momentum going. I've definitely been feeling I've been missing out. I love doing this, and I have gotten to do one reading in the last couple of weeks for somebody, but it's just like I miss doing this. So here I am. I'm gonna do some quick readings. Okay, so I have the cards face down. Today we're asking the question of what does Spirit wish me to know right now? Or what immediate messages? This is going to be quick, short messages for you. We have piles 1, 2, and 3. And I'll go ahead and flip them over in a second. Just want to give you a chance if you wanted to just tune in with the energy of the piles themselves. Right, so we have pile number 1, the Great Adventure. Pile number 2, Joy and Delight. And pile number 3, Infinite Abundance. Oh boy, gosh, aren't these all very lovely, very bright, fun cards? Okay, so however you like, to use your intuition now to tune into a pile. Again, we're asking for immediate messages from Spirit. Something quick, simple. So I like to take a deep breath in, and as I do, close my eyes. And as I exhale, I open my eyes, and whichever pile or piles I'm drawn to will have a message for me. All right. Well, I will see you over in your readings, whichever pile or piles you end up with, and until then. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Great Adventure, then this is your reading for today. So we have here a ship that has set sail. It is currently underway. There's a captain at the head, and it looks like they got wind in their sails. They're going places. You are going places, pile number 1. But where are you going? Let's get some additional information here. I'm gonna pull some runes. Boop. Here we go. Okay, we have the rune of rebirth, the rune of hailstone, and the rune of Laguz emotions. Oh boy, so you're in it right now with Hagglda's and Laguz. You are in it. There's a lot of flow. There's a lot of movement here. You've been feeling a bit overwhelmed by what you're currently going through. This is confirmation to say that what you're going through right now is a very important stage of your life, right? This can speak of like cycles of birth and rebirth and death, and this is first most confirmation of like if you're doubting whatever you're doing right now, if you're really sitting in a space of doubt of like, should I go on the ship? Like, people don't set sail and then like a couple hours into it, especially if they like see a storm coming or if they've been through a storm, they'll say like, oh, should we turn around right now? Like no, you're in it. You've already set sail, and you might be having a bit of that doubt in the space where you're just like, man, all these struggles that I've had, all of these just disasters really. And that might be making you question, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I good enough? Is the situation right? Is the timing right? The timing is right, and these trials that you've been facing, they are not to say to you, turn back. They're not trying to tell you to turn back. They are they're what helps you grow. They are what shows you what you want and what you do not want. They are part of the journey. But I'm very much seeing like this is like this current energy that you're leaving. Like this is kind of smooth sailing for a time too. It's not to say that there's not going to be more trials, not more things that get that can be difficult, but like if maybe you've been feeling like you didn't want to continue, this is to say like try just go a bit further, because you're going to see that how it's felt recently isn't going to be how it feels going forward for you. So this is kind of like a nudge. It's some encouragement for you. Let's go ahead and pull a couple tarot cards, trying to keep these pretty short and sweet, because I feel like that's what we all need right now. It's just some short and sweet, you know, through our busy days, just a quick breath of fresh air. A little bit of fresh wind in our sails. Oh, there we go. And this is that fresh wind for you. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there's this feeling of like of not being in control, and really you have more control over the situation than you have realized. It is outside circumstances. Haggadah's hail. It's literally the hailstones that come raining from above. It's not within our control, but how we react to it is. Your ship's still upright, right? You're still in it. You know, you might have taken what feels like a detour, a break, whatever, or it might have felt like the wind has died down in your sails, but you're still in it. And what does that say about you, right? With everything you've weathered. So there's a feeling more of like being more in control of where your journey is going at this stage, past these hurdles. You know, reevaluate if you need to, reset your sights, redeclare them very, very clearly. You know, where are you going? How are you going there? How is this journey gonna take stock if you need to? And in that taking stock, see that maybe things aren't as bad as they at first appear. We have the Empress. Yeah, there's an abundance. There's a lot of support behind you, both in the physical material, right? You know, with what's available to you, and just spiritually behind what you're doing right now, right? So there are just a great wealth of support for the direction you're going in. The Nine of Swords we have lastly. So oftentimes the swords can speak of mental energies. The Nine of Swords there's a lot of regret there. There's a lot of worries about how things have been. Look at this person in bed, and they're just stricken with grief. But all these phantoms, all these things are not things that are really present. They are things of our past that haunt us. A lot of these trials are related to that. They're situations that we come across that show us that the things in our past don't have the power that they used to over us. There may have been a time where we were small and vulnerable, and we were beholden to some very difficult situations that we had no power over. But that's not true for us now. That's often what the Nine of Swords comes to tell me, is to say that, you know, whatever we were dealing with in the past, things are different now, right? You are at the helm of this ship. You are steering where this is going. There's a lot of support behind you, and things may have been difficult even recently, but they're, again, not here to say that you are not worth. They're here to tell you that you are greater than that now. Pile number 1, I wish you the best of luck on your journey. I hope this gives you a little bit of energy in your sails to keep moving forward. The rough waters can certainly be choppy, and you know, I'm going through it right now too, but if you needed any confirmations of whether your recent decisions or choices or anything are going to pan out, well, here it is. Okay, take care, and I will, if you connected with any of the other readings, you can go ahead and hop over to those now. I'm going to keep this really short and just say, just take care, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose this Joy and Delight card, then this is your reading for today. First, I would love to just tune in with the energy of this card, which is just, it's a very subtle and beautiful card to me. Like the colors are kind of pastel-y, they're very soft. So it's a very soft and yet at the same time exuberant joy. And I'm feeling this softness for you right now, right? Like I'm very much feeling this kind of just, it's a quiet but bright, just heartfelt, just bliss almost. And the message, maybe strangely enough, that I'm getting from this card is that it's okay to express however you feel fit to. However is your way of expressing your joy is okay. It might not look like other people's. It might not be as flashy or exuberant, or it might be more flashy and exuberant, right? Whatever way that is your expression is your truth. And that might change from time to time in circumstances, but this is enjoying life. It's saying have joy your way, right? And don't worry about what other people think or might say about it, or whether it's, enough. Like you might be feeling like needing to put on a show, right? But this is saying like let your color show, and let it what you're happy with show. Let's go ahead and pull some runes from this one so you can get a little bit more on this situation here. Oop, here we go. Always get that one upside down. Okay. We have the rune of movement and strength and mystery, magic even. Right, so there's a bit of a blockage here with your joy and delight. I'm hearing whatever way it is, it's something that brings you a bit of anxiety around how you express, and therefore like it kind of gets stopped. It gets stopped right here. Like I'm seeing in this card like it's emanating, like they're dancing, and I can see this orange light. It's like emanating from their voice as they're like expressing loudly and joyfully. So there's very much with like the strength rune, there's very much an anxiety around the way that you express, right? Letting that out, letting other people hear you, right? And movement, this can be often referred to literally like how we move, how we express. Like see them dancing, a bit of that, where like more of that is being asked for in your life from your spirit to really freely express your truth and your joy and your delight. Because otherwise it gets stoppered up, and then your capacity to be able to enjoy the things in your life becomes just as hampered, right? As much as you are willing to allow yourself to express and to let out into the world is as much joy as you're going to feel your way. And again, whatever that looks like, it doesn't mean that it's dancing about shouting. Maybe it is. Maybe your form of joy is just like doing a quiet little happy dance, or there is a level of like what you're comfortable with is like the next steps that you get you there, and that's very much where I'm at right now, right? Like small steps. So this isn't saying like you are doing anything wrong for not like being as exuberant, right? This is only, I suppose, this is only coming out to say like it makes sense if you're feeling like things aren't as bright, as shiny as they are. Like this is kind of a blockage to that, and it's okay. Like if you're in that space, if you're still working on it, right? Strength, you're still working on this. You have been working on this, right? if you're in that place where that's the case, and you know, it's been difficult for you, this isn't an admonishment saying like, oh boy, you don't feel happiness because it's your fault that you're not expressing. No, it's just saying like, one, to really recognize where a blockage is, to acknowledge and accept like that's something that you're working on, right? To ease off a bit of the pressure even, because not knowing is oftentimes the hardest part. And knowing like something we're still working on about ourselves, which absolutely, this is something I am still working on. I am still working on expressing myself more freely and openly and vibrantly, right? But, you know, it can be helpful to keep that in mind of like, it's something I'm working on, and that's okay. You know, with strength, when that comes up, it does come up in a time where it's like, yes, you have everything you need to be able to do this, to break through this barrier, right? But this reading's coming at a time of softness too for me. We're very much a soft gentleness, where it's like, it's okay. It's okay to say like, yeah, I'm working on it. Let's pull some tarot cards. See if there's any other messages. I'm trying to keep these a little quick because again, I am just only have so much energy right now. But let's see what we got here. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, there is a lot that you have to feel joyful about. I think that's what's making a lot of this worse right now for you. Right, when you're just like, oh man, I'm so happy, I want to celebrate this. I am so proud of myself for that, and maybe it doesn't land as potently as you would hope, right? Because you can look around and you can see all of the work that you've done, and you can see that all that you have to be proud of and all that you have to be happy for, and just want to shout that out. And it's almost worse in a way than maybe it was in your past, because it feels like this just pressure. You have the Knight of Pentacles. You're feeling ready to go. You're feeling ready to go, and you're wondering, when is it going to come? Okay, there's the Knight of Pentacles with the horse. Like, there's this feeling of like being ready for this next leg of the trip. You're just I'm done. Let's go. And that's a great place to be in. But maybe there's like a little bit of frustration with the self too, of like, why haven't we gone yet? You might be asking like, what's wrong with me? Will I ever get there? Sort of feeling. Movement, again, there's this feeling of like, I just want to be over this. Let me tell you, pile number 2, I don't know how many, and I'm sure this is the same for you too, I don't know how many times I have worked to overcome like this sort of blockage of expression, of being myself without worrying about other people, how they'll judge me. But you know, it goes in steps. You make those steps, you put in that work, and you do see the results of the efforts. Don't tell me you don't, because I'm sure however you are right now, you know, you are leagues away already. And I think that's kind of what this Knight of Pentacles is saying too, like looking forward, right? What about the journey that's already come before you? Like, yes, you have your eyes set on your own expression, and maybe, you know, you've been doing that sort of work to know like what your truth is. But what about what has come before? What about the distance that you've already crossed? It's not to say don't hope for more, don't continue working on this. This is really just spirit coming out saying like, hey, good job, and don't be so hard on yourself. We have the Hierophant here too. We have the Hierophant, very much like a stoic feeling card. A very, very quiet and stoic feeling card. And I'm hearing here that maybe a little bit of advice for how to help this along is to spend more time in this space of this meditative, quiet space, and cultivating that, because that is going to kind of on the other side of the coin give you, as you know, build up this more, right? So really having that calm space that you can return to is going to help in so many ways. And one, it's going to help because it gives you a bit more of confidence in like your ability to really hold on to the reins, right? Perhaps a blockage of yours might be that this joy and delight has left you feeling like you could be out of control in the past, and that might be a reason that you are scared of it still. So the Hierophant is like, here, like, you know, you've cultivated this, but like really rest in this space and recognize like what it gives you. Now, because you may have been overwhelmed by your emotions in the past, and that may have led to this feeling of being unstable and needing to treat them with like safety gloves, when, you know, emotions are powerful. They are very vibrant, and they can be hard to ride the waves of, and especially at our younger ages. And we may have been shamed for that, and it's oftentimes something I know I certainly have to deal with. Right? A history of being too loud, too vibrant, too joyful for other people. And there was certainly a time in my life where I was a child who was overwhelmed by emotions, and even a young adult who's overwhelmed by emotions, who, like, you know, didn't handle them well. But you know the journey that you've taken, you know what you've gone through. You have this centeredness of space. You've connected with this. This is the tool that you use to ride those waves, to be able to remain here in the moment, while here riding, you know, whatever happiness or good vibes that you got going. But for practical information, the Hierophant says, like, just continue with this, right? You are moving forward. There is a lot of movement there. You have had a lot of movement. You know, work with that energy. Work with being thankful and grateful to yourself for that, and being proud in whatever way it expresses as right now. Don't judge it. It might not be what you know is true in your heart exactly, but it's absolutely the next steps. Sending you lots of love. Pile number 2. This is a struggle that's gotten me written all over it, so I feel you on this. You know, just keep working on it, and just remember that you're incredible for having come this far. The strength on display here is amazing, and I know it's hard because only you will really see it a lot of the time, but anyways, you're incredible. So I'm going to keep these pretty short. If you connected with any of the other readings, you can go ahead and hop over there now. Otherwise, until next time, bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the card of Infinite Abundance, then this is your reading for today. So first, tuning into the energy of this card, we have a group of people. They're all working together to do some apple picking. And doesn't it just look like the most fun evening? They've got some rods in the back that they're picking up apples, and I believe when you have a tarp out like this, you like shake the trees. I'm not sure if you do, if you can do that with apples. I have no idea, but it seems like a fun way to harvest them. And the message on this card is abundance is pouring into your life. So out of the gate, I'm seeing with this card of community, right? I'm seeing all these people getting together and all working together to lighten the load of a fall harvest, because that's typically, pretty sure, usually when apples come in. And so I'm very much already seeing like community out of the gate here. There's something about your community and really tapping into it. Like it's around you. You've been connecting with it, but there is a sense of like what you need right now is community, your community, right? Again, this reading is coming very much at a time where I feel like so much is going on in my life right now, and I've been seeing it for other people too. There's a lot going on, right? And we're not meant to weather this alone. Imagine doing this tarp with just one person, and they're just holding up an edge, and it's just sitting there on the ground. Like it's not gonna work. And that's kind of this card right now, saying like you trying to shoulder all of maybe the responsibilities or everything around you right now is not going to work. It's not been working, and it's not because you were not good enough. It's because it's not meant for you to carry on your shoulders alone. You can't carry your community on your own, and really, we need support for our own lives at times, and it comes and goes, and we're able to give more or less, but like even just our own lives just are not 100% manageable by ourselves. The food we eat is not all from us. The furniture that we sit on, we didn't make all of it. The roofs that we live under, the electricity that we use, all of that, that's our lives don't happen alone. Even living out in the woods, even to become a hermit out in the woods, you were subsisting off of generations of human knowledge and insight. You were never alone. You were never just on your own. And that sort of support has already gotten you here, but there's a bit of a really connecting with that energy, and understanding the ways that you like your place in your community right now. Like what do you give to it? But I'm really feeling right now like what can you ask of it? What can you say, like, hey, this is what I need. This is the sort of support that I need. This is what I'm trying to do. And, this is the sort of help that I need. And let's go ahead and, I pulled some runes out of the bag, so let's go ahead and hop into those runes. Yeah, we have the need fire here. And Yera, the harvests, gosh. And Ansu's messengers. Yeah, okay, there's communication here. This is very much a need of communication, and I think it's just as much with you as it is with everyone around you. Because maybe you're involved in your community right now, or you're on the sidelines or whatever, but there's communication, and that's just the act of speaking up, saying like, this is what I need. Could I get this? Like who has this the skill that could either help me or teach me or give me advice, or who has this very tall ladder that I could use for this project. Literally like very practical stuff, like saying that, communicating it, letting people know so they can come to your aid. Your community is here. They want to help you. And, I see that you want to be involved too. We have the need fire. Again, needs being met right now. They are not being met, and that's because you're trying to do it all alone. You were trying to make it all happen on your own. There's a fierce independence here when I see this sort of situation, and that independence is probably very hard earned, but there is a point in time where strength isn't about all the things that we can shoulder. Right? It's not about what we can lift on our own. It's about having the strength to acknowledge when we need help, right? To acknowledge when we just don't have the particular skill set or interest or ability or this or whatever, resources, whatever. And to say like, yeah, I need help. That is real strength. And we are not meant to, we were never meant to shoulder these burdens all on our own. And this is not an admonition of how you've been handling things. Honestly, for very good reasons, I'm sure you've had to shoulder more of a burden in your life. And that's how you've known how to do things. That's often when I'm seeing this sort of thing, and this is also something that I can very much relate to. These readings are so often very much for me as it is for the collective. There may have been very large points and times in your life where you have felt that you've had no other choice but to rely upon your own self. And maybe that has allowed you to survive. But you're not looking to survive anymore. You're done with surviving. You're in a position of thriving. You can continue to survive on your own. But maybe it's getting harder, right? Maybe the universe maybe it feels like the universe is beating you up right now with responsibilities. But all it really is the universe saying like, hey, you can share these. You don't have to, they're not all yours. Some of them, quite a few of them probably aren't even like anything to do with you. You just happen to be the wrong person in the wrong time, sort of. Oh, this is fascinating. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see where this goes. We have the Well. I never pulled this card from this deck in a reading. The Queen of Pentacles and the Sun. Right. So like well is often like a well is often the meeting place, and I'm actually having trouble remembering if this is even in the major official tarot, because I don't. No, this isn't. Okay, I was just having a moment there. This is not. This is an additional card in this deck from the typical tarot. So we have the Well, and a well is often like the meeting place of like a community in historically, right? People would be going to the well to draw water for their day's activities, and they might all, meet around the well and have gossip and talk and share at the space. So like there's this communal meeting space of where to find your community. And I'm seeing like this is saying like put yourself in a position where you can be drawing from this well, this figurative well of this resource of help, but literally being active in the spaces where your community is active, right? And maybe you're not entirely clear on where that is, but the well is asking like, where is your community meet? And are you in that space? Do you see yourself in that space? What can you bring of yourself to be in that space? Because that's where you're going to receive this help that you're looking for. And it can be a literal like physical space, or it could just be in terms of like a message board or Discord or wherever your community meets to talk. Right? Are you being heard there? Is your communication being heard there? Because there's maybe a sense of like having asked for help and feeling like you're not quite getting it. But this is again where the communication is coming in. Like, are you 100% clear about what it is that you need and how you're asking for it? Like being, and are you asking for it in the right place? You wouldn't go to a group that does sewing projects and ask them how to fix your truck. So are you asking in the right place? What is the space that you can do this in, and to set yourself up for success? Because otherwise, people just won't be able to help. So you really have to be clear about what that help is, and then know where to ask for it from. We have the Queen of Pentacles here, and we have the Sun in reverse. There is a feeling. There is this underlying feeling of not being enough, right? With the need fire and the Queen of Pentacles. There's this underlying feeling of like needing to prove to yourself that you are enough because you can do all of this on your own. That's what I'm seeing here. But again, that's what this whole reading is about, to say like, no, that's not being, that is not, that's not what is being asked of you. And that is not like, humans don't operate that way. We need help. We thrive on community. We are communal creatures that can only exist because of our ability to band together and to draw support from each other. So if there's this feeling within you that like you have to prove something to yourself, that you have to prove that you were able to do this, on one hand, you're going to set yourself up for failure, because this isn't sustainable. This won't, you can't do it forever. You might be able to do it for a day, for a week, but then how long are you burnt out afterwards? How long do you spend recovering? And then how long do you spend catching up from that period that you are recovering from? There's a huge feeling of responsibility, right? There's this feeling of responsibility and of not quite being enough. And there's literally like as if you don't wake up and put the sun into the sky, then it's not going to happen. That level of like, it's all on me. This cycle is asking you to let go of this. You are one. When you've been in this space, you've probably done some really incredible things and can really recognize your strength, and that is such a beautiful thing. But it's going to, there's always going to be problems, and there's always going to be problems that we are not so suited for ourselves to solve. And unless you start to grow this more, right, this community space, the community effort, and banding together and asking for help, and unless that grows, like the responsibilities are going to just continue to feel like they're mounting, and just maybe things you don't even want to do, or just that you're just so tired and done with, right? And they're piled on like that because, again, that's the universe saying like, these aren't for you. Learn to share. Learn to share the bad with the good. And really experience like this true abundance. True abundance doesn't mean I have this huge stockpile, this hoard that will keep me for 100 years and I will never have a need for anything. No, it is seeing the universe around you and seeing the opportunities that are everywhere, no matter what your current situation is. Your house could burn down, your food could rot and be carried away by animals, and you could be left with, your loved one leaves you and your dog runs away and all of these things. And yet you still are not alone, and you still have that infinite abundance didn't go away, right? It's still there. And I'm not saying those things happen to you. I hope they haven't. But, this is more about just recognizing the opportunities and the resources available to you. And that is the path forward. All right. Lovely pile number 3. The mosquitoes are coming out on force, and I, again, I'm intending to keep these short so I don't go deep into the night, and also just to be gentle on myself. And yeah, just really feeling that kind of gentle energy right now. So I'm going to leave this intro pretty short too. I hope that this reading has been helpful to you. If you've connected with any of the other readings, you can go ahead and hop over to those now. Otherwise, I thank you for being here, and I know this can be scary. I'm working on this myself too. It can be, but the benefits far outweigh, any sort of fears. But yeah, I hope you're well, pile number 3, and until next time, take care. Bye.